to another episode of 5 Minutes with Jesus and Jesse. So this week, I was actually listening to a Craig Groeschel message. Love Craig Groeschel. If you don't listen to him, you should because he's awesome. Anyways, he had a message series called ChristianISH, and I was intrigued, so I started listening to it. So he defines Christian-ish as having a half-hearted faith. It's like being Christian in name only. It's like almost Christian, sort of Christian, Christian-ish. He says it's embracing a watered-down version of Christianity. You have enough of Jesus to make you feel better, but not so much of Jesus that it changes anything in your life. And this was me for years and years. I was reading my Bible, I was attending church regularly, I was doing all the things that I should have been doing, but I was not allowing it to actually really change my life. In Revelation, Jesus gives a message to the Laodicean people, and he says, I know your deeds, I know your good works. He says, you are neither hot nor cold. I wish you were one or the other, because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold. I'm about to spit you out of my mouth. And so he says, you're not hot, you're not cold, you're literally serving no purpose. And Jesus is saying he cannot stomach comfortable Christianity. He cannot stomach convenient Christianity. It makes him sick. So he's about to spit these people out of his mouth. So what if you're lukewarm and you didn't realize it? Craig says the lukewarm Christian-ish faith is the ultimate self-deception. You get enough of Jesus to soothe your conscience, but not enough to make you born anew. And so Craig gives 5 signs to suggest you are lukewarm. The first is you crave acceptance from people more than you crave acceptance from God. So if I went to a party or an event and there was drinking, I would have a drink. Why not? Because it was easier to be around people who were drinking and just do what they were doing so that I was accepted. It was easier to have a drink than to explain why I wasn't going to be drinking because it was more comfortable. I would have rather been accepted at this event doing what everyone else is doing than to be standing out. And I was like, I'll just pray for forgiveness later. I'll just deal with God later. I would rather be accepted by those people than be accepted by God in that moment. Number 2 is if you rationalize sin. So I would always say, they drink in the Bible, right? Like they have wine with every dinner. There's so many verses in the Bible where they had wine. Jesus turned water into wine. Jesus himself even drank wine. So why can't I have a drink? They drank in the Bible. Jesus drank. It just said, don't get drunk. And if I'm not drunk, then it's fine, right? So easy to rationalize sin. If you rarely share your faith, when was the last time you invited someone to church? When was the last time you prayed over a friend in need? When was the last time you sent a text to a friend telling them that you thought about them and you were praying for them and you hope they're doing well? He says the 4th reason is only turning to God when you need something. So when was the last time you prayed, period? When was the last time you actually had a conversation with God? Because years ago, for me, this would be, if my kid was sick, or if I got bad news, or something really, really catastrophic happened at work, or I was super stressed. But now it is every moment. If I'm walking down the hallway and I pass someone, I might pray for them. If I get out of a meeting and I'm feeling stressed, overwhelmed, I'll start praying. If I'm driving, I pray. When I wake up in the morning, I pray. I pray before I read my Bible. I pray after I read my Bible. There's so many moments that it doesn't take a big catastrophic moment to turn to God. It's every day, all day long. And number 5, he says, if you're not much different than this world. So if you ask a friend, a coworker, a spouse, child, family member, is Jesse a Christian? What are they going to say? Oh, they go to a church occasionally. Yeah, I think that they posted a Christian song the other day on Facebook, so they must be a Christian, right? oh, yeah, she has a cross tattoo. And I say that laughingly because I do have a cross tattoo. But if you ask someone close to you if you're a Christian, what's the response? Are they going to have to actually think about what have I actually seen them do that would make me think that they're Christian? Or is it like, no, it's very obvious. Like, obviously she is. Have you been around her? Like, you would know. So he said, here's one thing that you can do. Here's the actionable thing that you can do. Do something every day that requires faith. And if I wasn't using my phone right now, I would show you. After watching this message, I made myself an iPhone wallpaper on my background on my phone that says, do one thing every day that requires faith. And it is such a great reminder. So I'm going to give you some examples of this past week, what I've done every single day that requires faith. I thought of a friend and I text her, and I know her family has been struggling with sickness, just the normal bugs and stuff going around. I prayed over them, I prayed over her, and I texted her and I said, I hope you feel cherished today. I prayed over you guys this morning. I hope the sickness leaves your house, and just know that I love you, friend. I am praying over some forgiveness in my life, and I started drafting a message that I would love to share at Women's Night, one of these events that we're having, of my personal journey with forgiveness, sharing my faith. That requires faith. I text 2 girlfriends this week and asked them to come to Women's Night at our church. I prayed for a friend who has spent a lot of time this year away from her family working. And as I was praying for her, I heard God say, I see her working hard for her family, and her work's not in vain. And I text her, I said this. And she goes, I am crying. I needed to hear that today. And I said, he knows that. He knows that's exactly what you needed to hear today. But it took my faith. It took me praying over you, hearing this, and then telling you that for you to receive what he was trying to give you, my faith. Those are just little examples. But what is something that you're doing every day that requires faith? And I started being diligent about it. I started writing it down. Because when you start responding to what you're called to, your faith grows. And he gives you more. And he gives you more. So whether that's praying for a friend or sending a heartfelt text or even sharing your own personal experience, what's one thing that you can do every single day that requires faith?